Stop. Before you scroll past this, understand something. You have been lied to about how your own mind works. Not by enemies, by the people who taught you, by the systems that raised you, by every source that told you psychology was too complex for ordinary people to understand. Marcus Aurelius understood it. A Roman emperor, no therapist, no degree, just a man who watched human behavior so closely, so relentlessly, that he cracked the code most people never find. He wrote none of this for you. He wrote it in private, a journal he never intended anyone to read. A man talking to himself about what makes people tick, break, lie, collapse, and rise. What you are about to read are 10 psychological facts that YouTube channels almost never touch. Not because they are secret, because they are uncomfortable. Because they challenge the version of yourself you have spent years building. If you are the type of person who only wants to feel good, leave now. If you are the type of person who wants to see clearly, keep reading. Because once you absorb what is on this list, you will never look at people or yourself the same way again. The 10 principles. 1. Your brain treats social rejection the same way it treats physical pain. When someone cuts you off, dismisses you, or leaves you out, your brain fires the same pain signals as a broken bone. This is not weakness. This is wiring. Marcus understood this. He wrote about the pull to seek approval and warned that a man who cannot sit with rejection will always be controlled by whoever holds the power to give or take it. The moment you need someone's acceptance to feel whole, they own you without ever signing a contract. Stay with this, because fact number 4 is going to completely change how you see the people closest to you. 2. Certainty is more addictive than accuracy. The human brain craves a settled answer more than a correct one. Once the mind locks onto a belief, it will unconsciously filter out anything that threatens it. Not because you are dishonest, but because uncertainty burns mental energy, and the brain treats that as a threat. Marcus called this the danger of the borrowed opinion. He spent years auditing his own beliefs, asking, did I think this, or did I absorb it from people I wanted to impress? Most people never ask that question, so they spend their entire lives defending ideas that were never theirs to begin with. 3. The stronger someone's public identity, the more brittle they are in private. People who build a fixed image, the tough one, the successful one, the unbothered one, become psychologically fragile underneath it. Every situation that challenges the image becomes an emergency. Not because they are weak, but because the gap between the performance and reality takes enormous energy to maintain. Marcus wrote that a man who must constantly remind others of his strength has already revealed his doubt. Real stability does not announce itself. It does not need the room to agree. Hold that thought. Number 7 is going to show you exactly what unshakable calm actually looks like, and it is not what you think. 4. Helping others can be a disguised form of control. Not always, but more often than psychology ever admits. When a person needs to be needed, when they position themselves as the constant rescuer, there is frequently a psychological payoff being collected. Gratitude, dependency, power over how others see them. Marcus warned himself against performing virtue. He knew that generosity with an audience attached to it is not generosity, it is investment. Watch how a helper responds when the person they helped no longer needs them. The reaction tells you everything about what the help was actually for. 5. Most arguments are not about the subject being argued. Surface conflict, money, chores, tone, is almost never the real wound. Arguments escalate when a person feels unseen, underestimated, or disrespected at a level they cannot directly name. The subject of the argument is just the doorway. The real room is always deeper. Marcus wrote that when a man is angry with you, look past his words to the fear underneath them. Anger without fear beneath it is rare. Almost every explosive reaction is a panicked response to something that threatened a person's sense of their own worth. Address the fear, the argument dissolves. Do not skip number 6. It's the one that will change how people treat you immediately without you saying a single word.
6. People remember how ready you were to walk away more than anything you said. Willingness to leave, calmly, without drama, communicates more about your self-concept than any speech, achievement, or confrontation. It signals that your stability does not depend on this person, this outcome, or this approval. Marcus practiced what he called the view from above, mentally stepping outside a situation and asking whether it actually threatened anything essential. Almost nothing did. People do not respect those who cannot afford to lose them. Remove the need. Change the dynamic entirely. 7. The mind rehearses negative outcomes not to torture you, but to prepare you. The brain running worst-case scenarios at 2 a.m. is not broken, it is doing its job. The problem is not the rehearsal. The problem is when the rehearsal becomes the permanent setting. Marcus practiced negative visualization, deliberately imagining loss, failure, and difficulty not to spiral, but to remove their power. If you have already walked through the worst version in your mind, it cannot ambush you in real life. The thing you have survived once, even in imagination, cannot break you the same way. 8. Silence makes most people psychologically uncomfortable for a specific reason. When a conversation goes quiet, most people rush to fill it. Not because silence is painful, but because silence removes the performance. There is nothing to react to, no role to play. What remains is just you. And for a person whose identity is built entirely on how others respond to them, that is terrifying. Marcus wrote that the man who cannot be alone with his own thoughts is enslaved to noise. The discomfort with silence is not boredom, it is the self, unfamiliar with itself. You are almost at the end, but number 10 is the one most people will reread 3 times, because it quietly explains every person in your life who never seems rattled by anything. 9. People do not fear failure, they fear the story failure tells about them. Failure itself is recoverable. What the mind cannot bear is what failure confirms, that you are not smart enough, not capable enough, not worthy of the life you imagined. The fear is never about the event, it is about the verdict. Marcus failed publicly, battles lost, policies that didn't hold. His position was precise, the verdict only sticks if you accept it. Failure is information, it tells you where your method broke down. It tells you nothing permanent about who you are, unless you allow the story to write itself without your input. 10. The person who never seems rattled has already made peace with the worst outcome. Unshakable calm is not a personality type, it is a practice. The people who appear immune to pressure have identified exactly what they were willing to lose and decided that losing it would not end them. This was the entire architecture of Marcus Aurelius's inner life. He kept a mental list, not of what he wanted to protect, but of what he was genuinely prepared to release. Status, comfort, even his life. Once the release is real, nothing can be used against you. The person trying to rattle you needs you to be attached to something they can threaten. Remove the attachment, remove the leverage. The final truth. You just read 10 things most people will spend their entire lives never knowing. But here's where it gets dangerous. Knowing these facts is one thing. What nobody is telling you. Right now, without realizing it, other people are already using these psychological principles on you, every single day. The person in your life who always seems in control, they have made peace with losing you. The one who is always just trying to help, study what they collect in return. The one who never loses an argument, they are not responding to your words, they are responding to your fear. The next video on the rational soul goes deeper than this. We are going to break down exactly how psychologically sophisticated people use these facts as leverage, and the specific mental moves Marcus Aurelius used to make himself impossible to manipulate, impossible to rattle, and impossible to control. Most channels will never make that video, because it forces you to look at yourself first. The rational soul was built for exactly that. For the people who are done being comfortable, done being managed, done moving through life half-blind. Subscribe to the rational soul, turn on every notification, do not miss the next one. The people who are already subscribed are already ahead of you. That gap gets wider every week. Do not miss the next one. More truth like this? Subscribe to the Rational Soul now.